You are listening to High on Sci-Fi with your host, Kyle Borrego.
So
it's intriguing, man. Like I was saying, like it's just cool that we have no idea what's happening. Like it's not predictable at all.
I didn't predict.
You end up with
any
more
of this.
questions than answers.
Yeah, and just hopefully they can, stick the landing with that. Which in Marvel we trust. They've done pretty well so far. They're just giving us little tidbits for now, and there's gonna be something, crazy.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, a little like piece of trivia I heard. I didn't look this up, and maybe Kyle can, but like apparently the budget for this show is like $220 million. Like that's massive, especially for a TV show. Like most big like budget action movies don't cost that. So I'm wondering where the guy that I heard got that number from. I can see the screen right now, so I'm gonna see.
It says the budget for each episode was reported to be as much as $25 million.
Yeah.
Reported budget is $225 million.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean that's a lot of money, and
Jesus.
Well,
I mean, how much of it has to do with paying the actors? Because that's a big chunk of it, obviously.
Oh yeah, dude, that's huge.
And I mean, obviously, everybody's getting, the grip is gets paid as part of that budget too, obviously, and the sets and building stuff and all that stuff. But it's still, that's a lot of money, and it's just like maybe they're like something crazy, some crazy special effects, or Tony Stark's gonna come back in the 9th episode or something.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, maybe there's a fourth of the budget right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Bringing him in for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he'll just be like a multi-universe version of him, where he's not the one that we saw die, but he'll be like a alternate reality version or something.
I saw a theory that with the twins being born and all these other characters being brought in, that this is setting the stage for the next MCU characters, like the next Avengers.
Dude,
that plays into all the other young people they're bringing in too. Like there's Ant-Man's daughter and Hawkeye's daughter, and Monica Rambeau. She's all grown up now. How convenient. She's not a kid anymore. So
yeah, dude, they're gonna have so much to work with. Think about even the Eternals. Like they're coming out with the Eternals. Spider-Man's still in it.
They've just been hiding among us. Like I know from some sort of press release or something, but what's the comedian's name that got shredded? Kumail Nanjiani. Like he is in the Eternals. He's a Bollywood actor in India, but he's like secretly hiding amongst Earth, but he's an Eternal. It's not totally related to WandaVision, but it's just another character to bring into this big canvas.
Dude, there's
the MCU.
Yeah, it's going to be more epic than Endgame. That's what they're setting it up to be. Is like you're going to know all these characters through the shows, through the movies, and they're coming out with so many shows and movies. Like they're coming hard. They're going to be like, we're about to blow your fucking minds here.
Yeah, it's gonna start small. It's starting small though. You can't just have another Endgame like a year, 2-3 years later. It's gonna be another slow build, but this whole multiverse thing seems to be the next kind of big arc or whatever coming up for the mini arc, if you will.
I guarantee it's gonna be like a decade of just content before the next big thing happens. The next big boss fight.
Yeah, this is kind of like they're setting the stages, I think, for the next phase.
Yeah.
This is like a transition. And I mean, the whole thing that throws me off the most is that Vision, whether or not he seems to be independent from
the reality that she's
Wanda's
created.
Control.
Yeah.
Well, right, because he even kind of breaks out of it. There's that scene where he starts questioning and having some memory come back, and then she resets it. All of a sudden it just blips back and he's saying something totally different.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Yeah, how much control he has and how much control she has. Like there's some bleeding over to where he can get out of it a little bit.
So he's bad. He's real, I think. I don't think he's just an extension of her, because that's what I was thinking at first. Like maybe that's just a projected version of him that
Yeah.
she remembers. But he
Yeah.
starts kind of questioning the reality himself, and then she resets him.
Yeah, and like so, like maybe, yeah. Sometimes the as crazy as the theories we can come up with, sometimes the simplest answer is the right answer. So like maybe just she got his dead body, his dead android body, and is trying to bring him back to life. And we know that
Right.
the little sister in Wakanda, I forget her name, Shuri, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That she was like, in Infinity War, she was like sort of like mapping the Infinity Stone to like kind of like so they could take it out of him and still have Vision to be around in
Right.
some sort of digital form or something. So maybe all that comes into play. With her mind powers, she's able to like bring him back somehow. But that doesn't explain the stone in his head right now either. So I don't know, but.
Right, that the stone's in there. And that's why I was thinking, like, oh, this is just like a projected version of what she remembers of him. But the fact that he started acting independently, and it really shows that in this episode, he's not just like one of the characters. You know what I mean? He starts acting independently, starts having some of his own memories surface, and then she resets him. She's like, nope. So to me, at least my perspective, we have enough information to say that this is something Wanda created.
Yeah, and he's got to be real because the simple thing is we see scenes with just Vision and other characters, like when he's at work and stuff like that, and with the doctor and stuff. So he's got to be, real to some extent, where it's not just a figment of her imagination, or it all is because she's supposed to be crazy powerful, and we're just kind of seeing glimpses of it,
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting, and seeing it's cool that now we're in color, we're not in black and white anymore, and like seeing
it was like a Brady Bunch intro.
Yeah.
Well,
the set design is like
into
just
the 70s.
Well, now,
the set design's awesome.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. Let's start from the beginning a little bit, and let's talk about the actual beginning credits, because me and Brad found something. The hexagonal shapes is the symbol for AIM.
Yeah.
Well, they keep appearing. They've been in since the first episode, and now they were definitely more present.
Mm-hmm.
It's like their go-to logo, or
right. And AIM
logo, but
you know what else is in that shape? Beacomb.
Yeah.
We're saying like maybe it's like a little metaphor or subtext or whatever of Wanda being like the queen bee controlling all this stuff.
No, there was also another thing in the comics. They said that AIM, their henchmen, wore bee-like costumes, like or suits.
Yeah, they didn't actually have bees, but that's like if you go look up those characters, like a lot of the like MCU characters referred them to as like they called them the beekeepers as like a short title for them because it looked like they were in bee suits.
Right.
But they just had a bunch of guns and all kinds of crazy technology. No bees though.
And let's not forget to mention that AIM was the company of the main boss guy in Iron Man 3.
Yep.
So it's already been introduced, and it was like a mind control. Wasn't it like a mind control company?
No, it was just sort of a tech company. It was just because they were using the extremists, the super-powered people that glow orange and have superpowers and stuff like that. So, I'm not so sure. I mean, yes, it's the same logo, or the hexagon is the same logo as what it is in the comics, but it could just be nothing. It could just end up being just a cool, aesthetic that they went with. It's hard to say like what's an Easter egg and what's a clue. What's an Easter egg and what's something that's foreshadowing something else.
Or how much like the MCU creators are listening to fans and going, I mean, we just put that in there because the shape looked cool, but let's go off that.
Sometimes that's all it is. Sometimes that's all it is. Like the cool set design and stuff. Like something like that's what we do as nerds. We speculate on like the shape of the wall, the color of the clothing. It's like that's because it's all we have to go on. And they make these shows months ahead of time, so they're just like kicking back and they're just like they can't wait to see the reaction every Friday.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's cool stuff.
There is I saw something. Someone was said that they think the animals, including the door lobster, the rabbit, and then that crane, is a character in and of itself. And I can't
Could be
remember
a-
what character they thought it was, but essentially another.
Well, the one that I heard, maybe not so much the lobster, but the rabbit and the stork could. Well, let me go back. So the rabbit was named like Old Scratch or Scratchy or Sir Scratchy or Mister Scratchy or something like that.
Mhm.
And one of the videos that I saw shows that the term Scratch, Old Scratch, is an old term for the devil in like certain literature or like back in the day or something like that, which is just just one more Easter egg reference to the devil that's all over this show. You know, like when Agnes says, or when Dottie says, the devil's in the details, and then Agnes whispers to Wanda, that's not the only place he's at.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so it's just one more reference. And the stork, you know, it was interesting that with all of Wanda's powers that she can manipulate things, she didn't
couldn't do
have
anything.
any control. So that
Right.
could be a some sort of supernatural, like a reference that maybe that's, you know, the devil that we know in the Marvel universe is Mephisto. That's like the big theory. It could end up being nothing. You know, it could just be like her mind being like, nope, these babies are coming. You can't avoid it.
Yeah, and that's another thing too with the babies, that it's physiologically impossible for Wanda and Vision to have kids together,
Yeah. So
which makes
in,
you
like,
wonder if these kids are actually like a figment of her imagination.
Well, maybe,
when-
or
Because in a comic, she goes mad when she discovers, because there is like a comic about
yeah.
her having those kids, and then she ends up going mad when she discovers that she just created them out of her mind, that they weren't
But-
really
Yeah.
real.
but
So
it could,
they're touching on that to some degree.
or it could also be
Yeah, where
that
she can
she's
manifest
so
things with her
powerful.
mind and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, kind of like a Mary and Jesus kind of thing. They just manifest.
I mean, they did show up rather quick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
within
and- yeah,
hours.
that's the whole
The way
thing
they
is
came
weird.
about was totally impossible.
That whole
Yeah,
whole
within
episode was
12
kind of
hours.
like. Hold on a second, Brad. That whole episode took place over the course of maybe like 4 to 5 hours.
Well,
Right.
I think Vision says at one point like 12 hours have passed or something like that. Yeah, because they remember when he's talking to the doctor and he's like,
Yeah.
"How big would the fruit be after say 12 hours?"
Right.
Yeah, but remember he was off on his calculation,
Yeah, true.
because he
yeah,
says
definitely
something
with the
about being
prediction.
like, she's like, I thought you said it wasn't for another 12 hours. He's like, I was off.
Well, yeah,
says
she
something
said
about being off.
yeah, he's like, it was supposed to be till next Friday, 3 days from
Oh
now.
yeah,
or
next Friday. That's what it was.
Yeah, 3 days from now. And he's like, I was
Yeah.
wrong. And that's the other thing. Like for a computer, he is terrible. Like he's eccentric. He's like
Yes.
kind of he's all wound up and acting weird and stuff. He's like hysterical. Like it's so interesting. And maybe that could be maybe it's not Vision. Maybe it's like it's like Wanda's anxieties manifesting in Vision or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
Now, they mentioned that Sword, the organization that's creating all this for Wanda or
Well,
whatever.
We don't know that, but
Yeah,
they're obviously
that's-
a part of it. They're on
yeah.
the outside at the very least.
Exactly.
I think
But
they're only watching, because you see like the whole,
Yeah.
who was it when what's that character that gets thrown out? Monica.
Yeah, Gladys or
When she gets
whoever her name is.
ejected from it, like,
Yeah,
they're like set up, stationed camp outside of it, sort of like what you'd see in like, whenever there's like a meteor strike in a film, and then the military sets up their base right outside the site. It looks like
Yeah.
they're just stationed up outside the site, like watching it and
and
trying
they-
to.
Not
so that
too
you
different from in Thor when the hammer fell down and they set up a base around the hammer.
well, sending Geraldine in was kind of, they were just trying to infiltrate maybe a little bit to bring her out, because they do mention that they were trying to slowly, from the video that we watched, they were trying to slowly bring her back to reality when Geraldine and Wanda were having their argument of like, where the fuck did you come from? Hey, you're not supposed to be here. Fuck.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
she's cast out of Wanda's her reality that she's created.
Yeah,
She's thrown out of Wanda's vision.
Yeah, there you go.
and man, that moment, like, she turned sinister and like the music changes and it's like there's that horror vibe when she's like, oh, she had to leave.
Yeah, because
She had
she's
to run
neutral.
home.
she's neutral in the comics. She's not always perceived as like a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like she's just slowly losing her marbles. Like she's gone through so much trauma and shit, and like this is like we're seeing like the beginning of the ramifications of her like just kind of losing it.
Right.
So, one question that I have is this supposed to still translate into Doctor Strange, like the Doctor Strange movie?
It's supposed to like directly
That's what I
tie it
understand.
some
Yeah.
way. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
whatever
like
that
it leads
means.
into it or something.
I'm just really
Yeah.
interested on to how they're gonna pull that off. Like, is Doctor Strange gonna like pull her out of that reality?
That's what I'm wondering. Who knows? Maybe the freaking stork was maybe that's strange.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to like he's observing in various ways and he's trying to break through somehow.
Right.
In various
And
forms.
since time is like not an issue for him, maybe he's like going through all these different realities with her to try to pull her out of that reality that she's created into the movie that he is creating, because he can look into the future and he can control time.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, but the other characters you notice too, that to me what's evident with this episode is they all know what's going on.
At least
They
two of
almost
them
said
do.
something to they almost said something to Vision when they were outside,
Yeah.
and they're like, he starts saying something like,
Yeah, we're
we're all, and then
and
she
it
looks at
cuts
him and
off.
is like, no, she shakes her head no, like really fast, like don't fucking
she-
say it.
She had the look of like
She stops
fear in
him.
her eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. So they
know-
know, some of them know what's going on. At least two of them. You're
Well,
right.
they
Yeah.
do pan
those
out.
two.
They do
Yeah,
pan
and
out
he
to
was
a
like
scene.
malfunctioning too. He was like when he was sawing into the fence. He was like he was
Right.
like malfunctioning.
Right.
Well, they do have a scene where they are watching her reality. They're watching it like a show, and what seems to be like a
Right.
video booth. You know, so they're keeping tabs on like a live feed maybe of this
Like,
reality.
They're like watching it like we're watching it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Like that person turned off credits like when that show like that's just so weird. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was in this high tech van kind of thing. You know what I mean?
somehow they're tuning into like a TV show that I guess Wanda is somehow manifesting, you know, and there's
Yeah.
that theory, you know, like when she was younger, she probably got comfort from watching all these TV shows while
I was
While
wondering
she was
about that.
getting-
Yeah.
while she was like getting experimented on by Strucker, you know, that was like her comfort zone. That's her safe space. You know.
Hmm.
And that was literally
well,
her safe space.
and they're also in the ads too. They're like trying to convince her like forget the past, live in the now, like live what's going on right now. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Well, yeah,
Well, and
so-
that,
yeah.
that soap. Did you guys pick up on that piece?
Well, yeah, and it's like awaken the goddess within.
Well,
Yeah.
all the ads reference to like time, forgetting about the past.
Oh,
Treat
you
yourself.
look like a religious figure right now. Like you look like you're
You
just
You got this. You got the sun shining above your head.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, dude. Sorry, man.
There you go. You took the Christ away.
That's hilarious. I look like I'm wearing a halo.
Swat him.
What is that
What's wrong with the
indicating?
halo, man? Looks like you have a blast of fucking energy coming out of your
Maybe
head.
I should like.
I know
Oh,
we
shit.
need backlight, but damn.
Here, let me.
The backlight. You should work on your angles.
Sir, you gotta tone that down a bit.
Sorry, I can't control it. I'm comfy right now. I don't want to get up.
Here, I got one.
No, you don't,
I got a
you don't
small
have to
one.
do anything. You got one too. Let me,
Yeah.
Yeah, let me
let
try.
me see. Is there anything? See, I don't have anything. You know.
Oh yeah, your video, your audio gets way fucked up when you switch to video. Holy crap! You were not kidding, man.
There we go. That's better.
There he is. Is he back?
Brad, turn your video off, man.
Yeah, that lagged immediately. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna.
Holy
You're just
crap.
gonna have to.
Yeah.
It's not worth
You're
it.
gonna have to look at Stevie Wonder trying to put the moon in his fingers.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, that's hilarious. That's
That's sad.
hilarious.
And someone took that picture like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
You almost
That's
got
great.
it though. Fuck. Dude, oh, real quick, I want to show you. Me and Gina went to Estes Park yesterday and we cracked open this geode.
Oh, that's cool stuff.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, they cracked it
I love
open
that
for
stuff.
us though, and
Nice.
they used it like they used like one of those like bolt cutters, but it was attached to like this heavy duty chainsaw link, and they created this
Huh.
way to develop enough pressure evenly throughout the rock to crack it into two halves. It splits it like right down the middle. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's got to be like, yeah, that's somebody. It's just like we live in an age where someone's already figured out how to do that, because
Well-
clearly there was some trial and error where you can't just
I'm-
smash it with a hammer. Like, oh shit, we ruined it.
Well,
Damn it.
I'm guessing that
explodes.
guy, because it was his own little shop, and you could tell, like, they all looked into it like they were just, oh yeah, that's a good one. Like they were like, yeah, you picked a good one. Yeah, check out the da right there, and they're nerding out. Like everybody came to see it.
Yeah.
Like 3 or 4 of them. They're all just like stoked about that geode.
It looks.
Yeah,
it
like,
looks
we can't sell this to you anymore.
yeah. They're like, this is too good, man. Fuck
Get
you.
out.
Get the fuck out.
We're keeping this.
We'll give you your money back, but just get the fuck out.
Okay.
Actually, fuck
I mean,
you. We're keeping your money.
Yeah, we're keeping your money too.
well, like it looks so foreign. Like it looks like it'd be worth like $1 billion or something like
Yeah.
that. But
Right.
But there's spots where you can find them. Like they have geode hot spots,
They're
I'm
like,
sure.
fuck, he actually has real diamonds in his. Fuck, should we tell him? No, just tell him it has cancer-causing agents in it. And we can't give it to him.
Just he'll believe anything. Look at
really,
him.
it's really radioactive. This will make you
looks dumb.
infertile.
Oh,
Darn
like,
it.
well, how the fuck
Yeah.
can you tell? Where's your instrument? You asshole.
They just
I
have
want
this
the
fake thing that
facts
they bring
right
out
now.
and
What
wave
makes
over
this
it, and it's
rock
like,
so special?
See?
The instrument is my years of experience in school.
If I carry this rock around, am I going to turn into the Hulk? What the fuck, man? Because I want that.
don't
If I get turned
question.
to the Hulk, I'm keeping this. Gina, I'm sorry.
Whatever, she would turn into She-Hulk. We'd be like super powerful couple. Fuck shit
We
up.
could smash together.
Yeah.
Break
but
things.
your cock stays normal, and it's just very disappointing.
I mean, if she grew to it, I mean, yeah, everything would need to grow. I'm sure it would. Well, it's like that scene in like Thor Ragnarok when Hulk walks by Thor, and he's got like this. It doesn't show anything, but it implicates like that guy's got a big dick, like a big Hulk dick.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he's
it's
like,
only
okay,
interesting
I
with
didn't
the
need
Hulk-
to see that.
It's only interesting with the Hulk. Whenever the Hulk sees a girl, he gets smaller. That's strange.
And see, that's another thing too. Like, how are they gonna tie in She-Hulk too? Like, they got so
I
many
know-
characters that
I
they're
know
gonna
they-
have to tie in
they're-
somehow.
I know they're kind of walking a tightrope right now to like this balancing act, like She-Hulk of all things, and Miss Marvel and Moon Knight. It's like it's gonna be interesting how how much they're gonna tie into things, or how separate things are gonna be. Like there's rumors that the Daredevil that was in the Netflix series, they're gonna kind of bring him over into Spider-Man 3, and he's gonna be Peter Parker's lawyer and stuff like that. So I mean that's just a rumor right now, but they got a balancing act that they're gonna have to do with all these new shows and stuff.
Let's look at the
They-
next
they say that
phase.
with the what?
Let's look at phase 4.
Yeah. Well, you guys, I don't know if you guys asked this, but I asked the same damn thing when they first started bringing the Marvel Universe together in the Avengers. When I saw
Well-
they were making that, I'm like, there's no way they can fucking get all these characters in. And
Well-
they did it.
Well,
yeah,
this
it was
is,
unprecedented
it
at the
really
time. It's like,
well.
how are you gonna bring these solo franchises together? And
They'll
worked.
do it.
this can't be
yeah.
the right timeline that I'm looking at, because it shows Black Widow coming out, then Falcon Winter Soldier, but we're getting WandaVision first before any of these.
Yeah, that's pre-COVID.
COVID fucked
Yeah.
things up.
I wonder how they're gonna tie that all in. You know what I mean?
They probably just had to tweak the scripts a little bit
What do
to
no,
change some of the scenes
I
around.
bet you. I mean, like, fuck it. We're just gonna go in chronological order then. We're gonna just start releasing
Could be.
things in because they kind of mixed it up in the first phase and on.
Yeah.
Like they were throwing movies in there. Like Captain Marvel was like in phase 3.
Yeah.
So,
kind of went backwards.
Yeah, and they went backwards.
the,
So
the first Avenger, during
and-
World War II, Captain
and-
America.
yeah,
And Black Widow takes place between Civil War and Infinity and
Infinity War.
takes
Yeah.
place between those two.
yeah. So I mean, maybe they're just like, fuck it. We're just gonna go in chronological order the best we can. Like I'm sure they're waiting to release Black Widow until theaters get more open. Because that's a
They
big
can
budget
bounce
movie.
around.
Maybe. I mean,
they've already done it. I mean, they can do it. They could do it
With a big movie like that. Do you think they can make their
Yeah.
revenue back?
They can. Worst case scenario, they'll just have to work around the script a little bit more and maybe reveal some things they weren't planning to till later. They might have to do it a little bit earlier to make the
there's
flow of
always
the
like
story make sense.
Yeah, there's always like a little tidbit of info or reveal in these movies that like something maybe that happens in Black Widow directly correlates to, something in WandaVision, and now we're going to be a little lost,
Well,
but it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Have you heard any like reports of like reshoots for any of these?
No, I think Black Widow has been done. Obviously, 'cause it's supposed to come out almost a year ago.
So, but
I think a lot of these ones are done, but maybe things like Doctor Strange have just started shooting, so they can probably, if something happens that they could make changes to Doctor Strange. Shang-Chi is done shooting, but they
Eternals,
may go back to reshoot.
are they
But
done
that's supposed to
shooting
come out
Eternals
in the summer? That's supposed to come out this year, so we haven't even seen a trailer for it yet.
Were they supposed to? Oh, by the way, I'll cut this out. But do you want to watch the new Godzilla versus Kong trailer?
I watched that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've already seen it.
Let's watch it.
Yeah,
I want to watch it again.
They show Mecha Godzilla in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Or Mecha something.
Look right there.
It could be
right there.
Mecha, not Mecha Godzilla, but it could be the three-headed one. I forget what he's called. But
We have to take it.
could be that. But there's something huge and mechanical in that first shot.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you showing that? God
Yeah.
damn it. Take that, edit that out for the trailer. It's like spoilers.
I mean, yeah.
No, they kind of give it away again, and I'll show you where.
To stop what's coming. And this child. She's
This is gonna be a cool fucking movie, like the fight
Share your
scenes.
screen.
I knew
Oh,
that they
shit.
had a bond.
Sorry. I didn't know I was. Am I not sharing it?
No.
I thought I'd been sharing it the whole time.
You closed it some time
Sorry.
ago.
There it is.
There we go.
Do you want me to start it over?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Right there,
This is our only
Mechagodzilla.
chance. We have to take it.
Even all that mech shit on the titles.
We need Kong.
Yeah.
The world needs him. To stop what's coming. And this child. She's the only one he'll communicate with.
I knew that they had a bond. She had nowhere to go, so I made a promise to protect her.
So
And I think
she
that in
can
some
somehow
way,
communicate with Kong.
Kong
But
did
so I watched a video on like all the little details that they've noticed. Like, how did Kong get so fucking big? And he's wearing like a collar with like a green vial on it.
Yeah. Well, they say in the first Kong movie that he's just a baby and he's still growing
he was like,
in the
he was still growing.
70s.
Yeah, but that was like that was in the 70s. That was supposed to take place in the 70s.
Yeah, the
Yep.
first Kong. No, the
It was
first
done
Kong
during,
movie
like-
was in the 70s. It
No,
was like around the
are-
Vietnam War era.
No,
Yeah.
was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Look at
there
the
were
weapons
rumors
they
that
used, the helicopters, everything.
yeah, there was a
Okay.
rumor
Camera.
that Tom Hiddleston's character in that movie was the old guy in King of the Monsters that becomes evil, but I think that's
Okay.
been debunked. But they kind of look similar because the age would have matched up. But
Yeah,
Okay.
dude,
but
that
that's
took
kinda-
place during the 70s.
I thought it was like just 10 years ago. I thought it was set in like recent times.
No, it was
No.
like the 70s.
So this is like way later.
Okay.
So he's
good
like an
50
adult
years.
now.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Here comes Godzilla. Fucking shit up.
What a dick. And like, why is he an asshole all of a sudden?
You know what I just realized?
Well, they mentioned too.
all of these shots of like, there's so many movies where there's like a child or somebody that just like slowly touches these menacing figures. That's where we see all these videos online of people trying to touch bears and moose and get
Yeah.
attacked and shit.
Yeah, go touch Yogi Bear over there.
Yeah.
Setting a bad example.
Yeah, yeah, go touch this giant fucking monster. God damn it.
Giant wild animal.
Yeah.
They make Godzilla seem to be the bad guy in all this too. But
right, that's what
they,
bothers me.
But they
'cause,
say
like, in the first 2 films, he's not a bad guy.
Well, they
he's
mentioned
just like a neutral.
Well, they mentioned something made him act this way. Something's making them act this way.
Yeah, like
Except
there's like a
He's horny,
frequency
and
in
there's
the air.
fucking. He's the only one, dude.
He's like, God
Wouldn't
damn
you
it, I just
say
wanna get
he could
laid.
Never get laid ever. And he can't reach his own dick.
Yeah, his arms are too small. He's just fucking
Yeah.
frustrated.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, I
Doesn't-
can't please
he's
myself.
Never ejaculated ever.
He's just roaring all over the place.
Dude,
He's like,
how big-
God damn it! Somebody jerk me off.
How big do you?
Please, that'll be the end of the film. They jerk him off.
How big?
Godzilla jerks him off.
How big do you think Godzilla's load would be?
It'd probably fill like a good SeaWorld swimming pool, like, or not swimming pool, but one of those like tanks for the
A SeaWorld swimming
whales.
pool?
a SeaWorld tank for the
And just it glows blue and is like acidic and just like starts like the alien blood. It just like seeps through.
deteriorating everything.
Yeah, it goes straight to the
Goes
core.
down
Like,
the Earth's
damn,
core.
don't get. Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
We got to shoot the load into space immediately. It's our knee destroys it. See, there's a dick right there. I thought it was his tail.
It's so hilarious. I love the music choice that they use too. Like, it's a good pump up song, too.
Fuck that!
Yeah.
No, that stupid hip hop shit. Fuck off. That
It's
sounds,
good.
sounds fucking terrible.
Really?
It gets your
Because
attention.
you're in the metal
No,
and
it
shit,
makes me
dude.
want to turn it off. Fucking
Whatever.
bullshit.
It's gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you.
I mean, that's what Zilla would listen to, I would think. Now, that's what Colin listens to.
Yeah,
Zilla listens to metal.
it's only there because it's trendy. Because that's what most people in America.
Okay, so wait. Let me go back.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people and we don't know why.
Wait, let me rewind it again.
Why don't we
Right
want to
there.
hurt people? I don't understand.
These are dangerous.
Right there. So you see Mechazilla right here.
Yeah.
So it's like a schematic,
So
like
they-
a
They
control
were
area.
building it.
Yeah, that's so they probably release him. So it's gonna be one of those things where Godzilla and Kong have a fight a couple times, and then like the last fight, like Mechazilla comes out and starts fucking shit up too.
And then they team up,
Yeah.
destroy the Mechazilla, shake hands. Kong jerks him off. It's like, dude, I get it.
And that's like
I get it.
okay, see, and it's semi predictable. They better have some surprise because in their title they have one will fall. Like really? Like is
It
one
could-
actually gonna
yeah.
die? I doubt it.
Yeah. that's
One of
bullshit.
how many though? Like they don't mention how many there are really.
But they're implying that one of them in the fight will fall. That's the whole, So
Right.
it's just, and this is like the equivalent of like in Endgame or so, like where we see Mechagodzilla in the trailer. That's like something happening in a Marvel movie, some big surprise that I'm just blanking on right now, or like something in Endgame. That's like seeing Cap catch Mjolnir or something like that.
Right.
But they
Yeah,
left that as a
yeah.
surprise.
That
Like
was-
it's just it's a
But
terrible.
it'd be like them showing that in the trailer. Yeah. And it could have
Like-
been them just not being careful. They're just like, oh, fuck, we didn't realize we released a scene that shows that Mechazilla in the back.
Well,
Yeah,
they
that's
didn't.
just-
They probably weren't expecting people to see what it was because it is kind of a
No, but
blurry
in this day and
shot.
age where people
Dude, yeah,
dissect, break
everyone
down
pauses frame
trailers,
by
there's,
frame.
Yeah.
there's 500 breakdown trailers of this released today. From
I
all the
guarantee
YouTubers.
someone sees an Easter egg in that city right
Yeah.
there on that shot you have it paused on. Someone picks something up from there.
No, well, they're
Guarantee
obviously in Tokyo. They're obviously, and
Well,
that's
yeah,
where it
but beyond
originated
that-
from, where everything originated from. Like they're gonna be like, all right, it's in Tokyo. We're about to fuck shit up in Tokyo. The final fight, the final
The
battleground.
final fight.
It's just they just should have left the in this day and age, like this movie's been done for a while. They could have made a trailer that they could have made that back computer screen be something completely different, or maybe it is. Maybe it's all just
Maybe they just have to fuck with us.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
a simulation.
maybe. That's what I want to happen. I want to be surprised, instead of
Yeah.
like, okay, Mechagodzilla's coming. Let's just wait for this to happen.
Yep.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people and we don't know why.
There's something provoking him that we're not seeing here.
I'm of the same opinion.
The myths are real. There was a war,
That was in his parents' hands.
and they're the last ones standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
bows to who?
Kong bows to no one.
See, right here is the kill shot. This is the end of the film right here. Bam, just kills Godzilla.
Yeah.
I
Roll
just
credits.
saw the whole movie in that trailer.
Yeah, roll credits.
But I mean, I hope they'll have longer fight scenes, like where it's just absolutely bananas.
It'll be an action-packed thing. There won't be a whole lot of thick story to it. And maybe Godzilla's pissed because he knows they're making that fucking mecha Godzilla.
And
He's
they're like, why didn't you
fucking
attach a
assholes."
vagina to this thing, man?
Right? Why did
God!
you make it a male?
Nothing happens for me. Fuck you, humans.
The unrated
I'm gonna
edition.
eat all you.
I save
Yeah,
all
wait.
you from fucking big ass monsters, and you guys are building a big Godzilla, which is awesome, but you couldn't include a vagina. God
Why didn't
dang
you make
it!
a sex doll a male.
Yeah, the unrated edition. It's the unrated edition where he tries to mount it.
And he discovers and he just goes on a fucking rage.
Dude.
What the fuck is this shit?
See, that's
Could you
the that's the
imagine that
secret.
you haven't had sex your entire life. You're in your 30s. You order a sex doll, and they send you a male, but the male doesn't even have a butthole.
I got it, dude. All right, here it is. The secret that they're hiding, that they're CGIing out, is Godzilla's walking with a giant erection the whole movie.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't get why he's so mad.
But he's got a huge erection. What the fuck?
Don't you get horny when you're mad?
He keeps bumping it into
I
buildings
don't know
and
what he's
shit.
mad about.
Yeah, the real title is Godzilla's dong versus Kong.
Oh man,
That's
And
good
the reason you don't
stuff.
see his dog in any of the shots is because he gets it taken off right in the beginning. Godzilla or Kong just grabs it, just yanks it off.
Yeah, that's ending Godzilla. That's how he dies. He gets his dick ripped
That's how he
off
dies.
by King Kong.
He bleeds to death over the 2-hour film.
God dang it. Our stupid brains.
Anyway, about WandaVision.
What if they made a final cut like that? That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's been implied that Wanda and them bang, so what's going on there?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, she's created the Godzilla films.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
She created it. This is the Godzilla versus Kong is just an extension
is-
of Wanda's vision.
Yeah, they're actually going to
It
be
all
bringing
is.
in the
Every
final
film is now.
the Avengers movie, the Endgame movie that's going to in the next phases is just going to be them fighting all the Godzillas and Kongs.
I like that. Why don't they do a mashup like that?
Nailed it.
It'll eventually happen.
Speaking of mashups, this whole theory with the Spider-Mans, with like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, do you think they're actually doing it?
I
the
think
more
to some degree they are, because it's all implied with multiverse stuff, and like it's been confirmed that Doc Ock is coming back. The same guy, Alfred Molina.
That's confirmed. Yep.
And
he's
same
playing
with
him.
Jamie Foxx as Electro is also coming back. So there's
Right.
something going on,
I read this article that one of the, I don't remember if it was a producer, someone on the team making the films, so I assume they've started shooting, made some comment about how Tobey Maguire is pissing everybody off because with his diva behaviors.
I heard the same thing. It's like we got to always remember there's the business side of things, and he
Right.
probably wants like more money
Right.
or something like that.
Right. Which realistically they need him more than he needs them.
Yeah.
if they're going to
Like,
pursue
He's kinda
that.
retired a long time ago.
Well,
They
they don't
probably-
need. They could always work a story around where they can get. If Andrew Garfield comes back, they can. They can still get the idea across of their
Yeah, but-
multiverse, multiple Spider-Mans happening.
Yeah,
It would
but
just be very nice
I didn't
to
like.
see.
I
all
hated
three of them.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I tried to watch the
Really?
first one they made, and I couldn't do it because I didn't like his
I
Spider-Man.
liked him.
He was cocky. He was too cocky.
Well, you're saying you hate the movies, but do you hate him as Spider-Man?
If they changed how he was as his character, because in the movie he was just kind of like cocky about it, like, yeah, I'm Spider-Man. Like, yeah, I'm the shit. Kind of.
I mean, wouldn't you be a little cocky? if you had those
No,
powers?
because that's not how he's supposed to be. That's not how he's supposed to be, man.
Well, he kind of did the same thing a little
But-
bit in the
but
first
if they-
in the first
if
Tobey
they-
Maguire one, where he beats up Flash and he gets a little cocky there.
Right,
too.
but if they
That's
do,
true.
if they do the multiverse version of that, then I'll understand why. Because he's a different universe. You know, he's in a different.
Yeah. It depends
setting.
on how they're going to do it. Is it going to be a quick scene at the end or at the peak of the climax, whatever? Or is it like throughout the whole movie that they're playing, that they're like, oh my God, these universes are colliding and like, oh, where's MJ? Oh, my MJ's black. Where's your MJ? Oh, she's dead.
I ate her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they do decide to do that, okay, what movie are they going to bring him back in? Because I've heard they're going to bring him back in Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man. I've heard the rumor for both those movies.
I can see that. Maybe that's what they're trying. Maybe they're trying to do like some kind of 3-picture deal or something like that. Or
if Toby's being that much of a dick, there's no way they're going to keep extending him. Dude, they can bring fucking again. This goes back to our theory from last time. They can do absolutely anything and correct and change anything with
Doctor
Deadpool.
Strange.
Right.
Yeah, and Deadpool.
Deadpool. Deadpool can just come in and chop the hands off of the creator.
And here's,
and then no more.
Can you guys still see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so in the Multiverse of Madness cast, they bring back Tobey
you're
Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Elizabeth Olsen as Wanda.
Well,
Ryan Reynolds,
like you
but
can't
this
go
is
up by those.
right.
Like, you got to look at actual reports, though.
But like, when are they going to change that then? It's irritating.
The IMDb page usually does have pretty accurate information on it.
Right.
Yeah, which you got to be careful of because, like, if you look at that for WandaVision, there's apparently big spoilers. So don't look.
Right, because you'll see the cast. You'll see the
I
cast.
already know.
This is
I already
Doctor
know
Strange.
one actor that's coming to WandaVision that I wish I didn't know, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it for, but like, there's a big implication of something that who this person could be playing, and I just don't want. That's all I'm going to say. And
right.
And yeah. So I hope what I heard was not true because it's huge, and I just heard
Is it disappointing?
I heard it from listening to another. No, but no, but it's just something that I like to be surprised. I wish I didn't hear this rumor. It's still a rumor, but I think it's a rumor of what the person is playing, but it's confirmed that this person is playing a role, this actor. And
got it.
Anyway, I don't want to say
Well,
about it. I just was I was watching a different video, and this person that was in the video just kind of nonchalantly said this rumor, and I was like, oh, damn it! I wish I didn't hear that.
Good son of a bitch.
Do you guys want to?
You know what, guys? Count me out of the show. I'm not watching it anymore.
It's like it's fun to be surprised. Like I don't want to be in the scoop game. Where it's like you're just waiting for things to happen. Like I got sort of spoiled for Endgame. Like sort of like I saw somebody posted a screenshot in like a Facebook forum, like a video game forum that I was watching, and someone posted this screenshot of it's the 2-shot of Cap and Thor each holding the hammers, and I was like, oh shit, I wish I didn't see that.
If it makes you feel better, with my job, since I work with families and so forth, I work with kids as well. And every single Marvel film got spoiled for me before I saw it. Because kids are just like, oh, my favorite part was it. And I'm like,
yeah. Sucks.
So
it's like, I already knew Captain America got to hold Thor's hammer, like way before I saw the film.
Dick. Dude, all right, so who do you think
okay.
Who do you think they're gonna all right. Who do you think is gonna be like, since they're starting with WandaVision, basically, leading up into this huge universe, who do you think they're going to make the big villain to be again? Like, Thanos was the big villain to end it all.
Like, I don't know. Like, unless they end WandaVision on, like, a positive note with her, like, getting out of this delusion, I'm almost thinking they're setting the stages for her to kind of be the bad guy for a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Unless she pulls out of this thing, because even when they pull her out, she might lose her mind when she sees it was all fake. She loses her kid. She loses Vision. She might completely snap and go insane for a while.
Yeah, maybe. Or Doctor Strange could pull her out of it. But like,
right.
Who's your prediction for like the end game type character, just based off like all the shit that's coming out?
I still think it'll be Death.
Death?
Yeah.
We're talking villains.
Yeah, like the last
who
villain.
we think will be like the main villains, like how Thanos was the villain for the Phase 1, the main villain.
I mean, I think it's too hard to say where they're gonna go with the very end game. It could be Doctor Doom, it could be Galactus, because the Fantastic Four are coming, and everybody knows Doctor Doom is awesome, and they haven't done him right in the Fox worlds. You know.
Do you think they're gonna redo it again?
Yeah.
For the third time, the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I liked the cast of the new one, the new Fantastic Four. The film was a mess, but I did like the cast.
No, I agree. Like I thought it was great. It's just the whole movie. There's so much drama behind the making of that movie and stuff. And
I know, but I do hope they can use that cast at least.
Well,
maybe just redo it.
I would like to see like John Krasinski playing Mr. Fantastic, and his wife.
Everybody does, and
his
his
wife.
wife could be in the Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
And Emily Stone, or wait, no, Emily. Wait, what is it? What's her name?
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. Yeah. Yeah, they would make the perfect couple. And John Krasinski was one of the runner-ups to play Captain America back in the day.
Right.
I think Jack Black should be the Thing.
That would be pretty hilarious.
So great.
That'd be hilarious. That's like their MCU's joke. Like Drax plays.
But MCU does that stuff. They could take characters like that are kind of serious in the comic and make them totally fucking hilarious.
Well, I'm just saying, like Dave Bautista plays that part so well that Jack Black could play that part so well, but he's still like the Thing, but with Jack Black's voice. You know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah.
Oh man, a scene. Imagine a scene with Jack Black's the Thing and Drax like arguing with each other about shit. That would be so good,
dude. One movie that I want to be made in the MCU is like a Thor and Rocket movie.
That'd be cool.
Rocket and Thor.
I'd watch that. I'd watch that movie.
Dude,
Those two are a good team together,
yeah.
dude.
Dude, I would watch them do anything. They could just be stuck in an elevator for 10 episodes on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And just arguing back and forth. Oh god, that'd just be brilliant.
Quiet, rabbit.
They're just trapped in this elevator for 12 episodes.
Dude, like it wouldn't get boring. It wouldn't get boring at all. Like as long as the writers obviously have to create stuff, but just in our heads, like you can already see the potential. Like certain things write themselves. Yeah.
If Marvel knew that there were fans out there that said they'd watch two characters sit in an elevator for 6 hours. 12 episodes, 6 hours total.
Well,
Dude, it could even be Thor and Chris Pratt. That was his name.
Star-Lord?
Star-Lord. It could just be them just arguing, like, oh, dude, it'd just be great.
Arguing over who's captain of the elevator?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. It's like, no, I'm in charge.
We're going to the 12th floor.
We're gonna try out.
Sure, it was the 6th.
Do you think? Okay, so and here's another thing too is like a lot of pages that I am on with Facebook, they keep saying that Thor's done in the MCU, and they implied that in the Endgame too.
He signed a new contract. He's in it for a while.
Right. So how much longer is he in it for?
I mean, you have to look. I can't find. You have to look it up, but there's like a number. There's a set number of how many, like a 9-picture deal or something like that. Like when they signed all the new contracts, like Robert Downey Jr. almost wasn't in Civil War because his contract was up after Age of Ultron,
which let him get some more money.
Yeah. So, but they had this. They signed a new thing where it's literally like when Captain America appears in Thor 2, when Loki pretends to be him for 5 seconds, that counts as one picture. It has the same value as like a full Captain America movie. It's like it's weird how it works, but that's kind of the thing. So if like Spider-Man, if Tom Holland has a 6-picture deal, that could mean 3 Spider-Man movies and 3 other things.
Right.
Whether if it's
it doesn't mean it's a solo film.
Yeah, it could be a small scene in Doctor Strange 2 could count as one, but could also be, the next big event film or whatever. So it's weird how it works. And there's a whole bunch of new contracts being served up in this new COVID era with Disney Plus and streaming and stuff where, and we don't have to get into that because I don't know much about it, but it's just weird.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be interesting to see how everything goes.
Yeah. My ultimate favorite or movie that I would love to see is a Wolverine versus Hulk movie. just those two, or whether
That
not,
would be
not just,
badass.
but clear, like, what if the Hulk, like,
Dude.
his arm gets back to normal and he starts going like crazy for whatever reason, and he gets really angry. And no one can take him down, but one person.
It's funny.
Who's the best at what he does.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I have that comic the first time they get together in the top corner up there.
Yeah.
It's the first time they
know
fight
what I
each
wanna
other.
See? It's DC, but I think the film could do fucking phenomenal if it's rated R, and if they get the right directors and writers. Fucking Batman versus Predator.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Because they can't get the
fucking
Predator
sick
right.
comic.
But
Right.
Yeah, they
but
can
Disney
never,
Disney
they can never
owns
quite get the
Predator.
Predator right, and it's like just make a Batman versus Predator. Just make Predator like the villain, and it would just rock. Fuck
Don't
yeah.
do this fucking PG-13 bullshit either.
Are you
Fucking
talking
get
about like
violent
the
with it.
Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Predator?
What?
Are you talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger's Predator?
Or just
Yeah.
any Predator? Just,
Yeah,
whatever.
not Batman versus a bunch of priests
No, but
like the Predator.
That would
Not
actually
a
be pretty cool
Predator.
too.
but they can't. They wouldn't be able to do that because Disney
They
owns
They
Predator.
release like a legion of 10-year-olds going after him. Get him, my children.
And he won't hit any of them
Ridiculous.
because he feels bad.
Yeah, he's like,
I can't strike a child.
I can't
don't
kill
kill
a
kids."
child, but I will severely beat the shit out of him.
Dude, isn't
I will break your fucking legs.
isn't a
I will knock
Deadpool
all your
movie?
children teeth out. Don't worry, they'll grow back.
You'll get adult teeth later.
God damn
Suck
it!
that priest's cock.
I'm rich. I'll pay for the damage.
You guys are
Fucking
absolutely
Kyle's just
bananas.
like, fuck.
That's a parody video waiting to happen, like Batman versus Predators, and it's not. It's like you think it's the Predator, but it's fucking priests.
Again, you heard it here first, folks. Fuck, dude.
God damn it!
There's like a priest. There's like a priest on top of a church with a laser pointer, like pointing at him. So you think it's the Predator thing, but it's really just a priest with a laser pointer.
He's pointing at him, and that's where the kids go. wherever that laser's pointing.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Batman versus Predators.
Oh my God. Anyways,
Back to the wholesome world of WandaVision. Where truly terrifying. What kind of power she has that we're just kind of barely scratching the surface of.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Didn't they also say that Deadpool 3 is confirmed now and it's going to be rated R?
At least, as of right now, Kevin Feige, I think, said it himself, where it's like, and that he's in the MCU somehow. It's going to be curious to see how much they play with the fourth wall breaking, because technically he's super powerful in that term, where it just out of nowhere, he could literally just walk into a door and he just goes from the Fox universe to the MCU universe. It doesn't have to make sense because that's part of the fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to.
Well, doesn't he dies in the comic finally when he leaves he like walks to the studio and kills the comic creator.
See, that's the kind of stuff, and that's kind of like, that's game breaking in terms of the MCU. You almost can't have him do that stuff. Like, he's gonna have to just kind of peripherally show up every now and then, just for the laugh. He can't just he could be like, oh man, like when the X-Men come around, he'll have to make some jokes like, oh yeah, our Wolverine was way cooler than your Wolverine. He could have, and it's like meta jokes and stuff like that based on these 20 years of film history with the audience.
They'll have to use him very carefully and minimally if they don't want to turn the entire MCU into a joke. Like they'll make him like the coffee bitch or something.
He's just gonna he's gonna be there for laughs, and he could just be in his own little universe where technically he's in another country that's not that's somewhat connected. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's
and
gonna
they just
be fun.
bring him
I'm
in
excited for it though.
And they just bring him in the final fight just out of the blue. Like, thank God I'm not late for this.
Yeah, he'll come. He'll come.
He'll come at the end when the fight's over.
He'll come at the nick of time and save somebody, and then he'll be like, "See, I'm okay," and then he'll get blown up or something. Yeah.
And then regenerate.
And then it'll take the rest of the phase for him to restore himself.
Yeah, exactly. He'll just be like, he'll be with that grandma, as his whole body grows back, and they're just getting high and shit, and like, sorry, I couldn't come, like I was healing the whole time. They could have so much fun with it. There's so much meta. There's so much meta to play with, and just like all the years of history with our audience. Because if it's implied that he comes from the Fox universe, he could kind of be the audience's like view into this world where he kind of makes jokes that only people that have seen all these movies know and stuff. Like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Just like the Green Lantern, how like he rips into the Green Lantern.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. Like, he's like, oh, we're gonna take you to see Professor X. And he's like, McAvoy or Stewart. It doesn't make any sense, especially because like it takes place, it's in the 2020s or something for the Deadpool 2, or at least later. But then he goes to the mansion and it's like the 70s era ones. That just close the door on him. It's just, and that's only because they were filming at the same time and they just made that scene work. But it doesn't make any sense in the continuity. But it doesn't have to.
Right.
That's part of the fun of Deadpool.
I think it's cool they're bringing him in, but it's going to be interesting because I think, the Deadpool standalones you can make rated R, but to suddenly make one of the MCU films, like to bring him into that universe and make that rated R, I bet you they won't do it.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
Like back out.
It just makes like, if he's ever in like a team up movie, he's not going to be there. He won't be slicing. He won't be seeing blood when he like does things. But in his own movie, you will. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah, the rated R version, his movie.
Yeah.
His view. Now let me tell you the story again through my perspective. And then they just like do the whole thing. It's just an uncut version of the film.
Because like, isn't there a comic called like Deadpool kills the MCU or something like that?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's when he kills himself too, if I remember right.
Yeah.
When he kills the comic creator.
Yeah, it's not called the MCU, but Deadpool kills the Marvel universe or whatever. But they could have a play on that where it could be like Deadpool saves the MCU. That could literally be the title if they wanted it to. It's all in good fun. It's not like necessarily canon or something, or they'll write it in a way where it's not canon, but it could be so much fun.
I think it'd be cool if they made him the bad guy.
Oh, that'd be great. That's why I'm saying I would love to see like a twist and have like Hulk become a big villain in the near future, because that World War Hulk.
Yes.
Yeah, Planet Hulk.
He's like so powerful. He kills everybody. Like nobody can stop him. Like not even Doctor Strange, not even like the Omega God level people in the universe. Like he gets so pissed off.
Isn't that Planet Hulk too?
It's part of Planet Hulk. It starts with Planet Hulk. It starts when like the Illuminati in the Marvel universe send him away because they deem him to be too powerful, and then he goes to Planet Hulk and the whole Gladiator storyline happens, I think, and then he gets a wife, and then I think somebody kills his wife, and that's where he gets like super pissed off.
Here,
it would just be so cool to see him at that power level, that's all.
And then it just takes somebody to step in and piss him off more by going, hey, buddy, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Something, or Deadpool says something. Deadpool wisecracks him, and he just like breaks his face apart.
Thanks a lot, Deadpool.
Yeah,
I like these theories. If we see it unfold this way, man, we better try to get some fucking money out of it, because you heard it here first, folks.
They're just secretly listening in.
Why are
Disney.
all of our ideas turning up in the movies? Even the bad
going
ones.
on?
What the fuck?
Yeah, it doesn't really show us like the different types of Hulks. I mean, they have Planet Crusher Hulk or whatever, like Planet Hulk.
Yeah, Planet Hulk, and then like the Red Hulk is supposed to be the general in the Civil War. I forget his name, Thunderbolt or whatever he is. He's supposed to be the Red Hulk in the comics, and that could be an easy way where they can like bring a new Hulk in, but that actor doesn't have to like, you could just need his voice at that point.
Yeah, merge.
Because he doesn't change back, right?
I think, right? Like, I'm not 100% sure.
World Breaker
It
Hulk.
just sucks that in real life, people age. So you can't...
Yep. And that's,
but with the CGI these days, they're getting close to not needing to use real actors. You just come in and get your fucking face scanned and get like $2 million for it and go about your way.
It's getting better, and
just do some lines.
'cause there's rumors that like Mace Windu or Samuel L. Jackson is on record saying he wants to come back, and so there could be things where maybe they bring him back in one of these shows.
Yeah,
and he's old, but he kind of, you know, he looks like he almost looks like he did 20 years ago anyway. But you know, you wouldn't. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do. But
they can do that stuff.
Yeah. Back to WandaVision. What else do we want to? What else is it we want to bring up? Like,
I think just in closing, like for me, one of the things that like just kind of threw me off is, and maybe it's just like a caution thing, when Monica gets thrown out, like those agents just surround her, like they don't know who the fuck she is. Like, do the agents not even know who's trapped in there with her?
I bet they probably knew that she was in there, but they're just probably playing it safe because they don't know what's just came out, and they're just kind of like, you know, they're just on top of it. You know, there'll probably be a scene in the next episode where it's like, oh, it's Monica, like tell us what you know, or you know, who knows what that's.
Also,
like a huge, the huge breakdown where they'll interrogate her for hours.
Well, also like Monica Rambeau, she's a superhero as well in the Marvel universe, and they did mention something like that she got thrown out. Photon, something like that. But she got thrown out of the projection, and she was like charged up with some sort of energy. You know,
I think that was
this might be where she gets her powers, right?
I think that was like I think that was Wanda's red energy like dissipating as she got thrown out. That's how I kind of see it. It's like, you know, she pushed her out with that red energy, and then when she was out, it was kind of like leaving her. I wouldn't say she was absorbing anything. I could be wrong, but
I mean, she has to already have her powers, because like, did you see how hard she got fucking thrown out? Any human would be fucking toast. Hey, Jesus Christ, she came down like a fucking meteor.
She could also be a Skrull, you guys. She's been in contact with Skrulls before.
It's true.
You know, just some thoughts. You know, there could be a second Monica roaming around somewhere, and that, you know, we'll see that as well. And the whole Skrull thing is interesting. Like, maybe some of those people are Skrulls inside that are helping infiltrate things, or not. But you know, going back with like, because in Captain Marvel they have that memory, that way for the Skrulls to observe Captain Marvel's memories. You remember that? So maybe there's some sort of technology at play with
they could get into
well. Yep. So maybe that, you know, as they were like watching that weird TV show thing, like maybe there's some of that Skrull memory technology somehow incorporated with all that stuff too. Because how else would they be watching it on a screen like they did in Captain Marvel, you know?
I'll tell you, man, like I am really, really, really terrible at watching shows because I get bored of them so fast. And I think I maybe even said this in an earlier episode, like even when that Kyle and I did that, you know, even with, I really love Star Wars. I'm a huge fan, but you know, even with the Mandalorian, I started kind of getting a little bored of the concept. And like, I really hope they leave the way they finished season 2. I hope they leave it there. If they do more Mandalorian episodes, like hopefully Grogu's no longer in it.
Well, they will be making new Mandalorian episodes.
That's what I mean. Like, I wish they'd just do like, I get so bored of the characters, the concept, the stories, and like WandaVision really has my attention because they can just like fuck with it in any direction. Mm-hmm. It's such a explorative concept. They could just do anything with it.
I think there's a new evolution happening with shows, especially with streaming services, where not every show is going to be like run it into the ground with 7 seasons. They're gonna like some are going to be more limited. You know, the Obi-Wan show is going to be limited. The I think the rumors right now, the Ahsoka show is also just like 1 season, almost like they're like really big long movies.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be perfect because then I think you could put a lot of, because one bad thing with shows is that they're boring, man. There's like, you know, they take a small concept and stretch it over like fucking 8 episodes.
Well, yeah, and there's like, you know, Lost is my favorite show ever, and even then I can still criticize it. Like, how many times is Kate and Jack gonna sleep with each other, and then Kate's gonna go sleep with somebody else, and then he's gonna come back to Jack. Like, it's just like when you
already do this 18 times, you guys.
Yeah, but then like week to week you don't notice.
2 seasons away.
Yeah, like week to week you don't notice because there's like the dramatic music happening and the close-up shots with all the emotions. But then you like look back, like, she just slept with that guy 2 days ago. What the fuck is she doing over? You know, it's like that kind of stuff happens all the time. So I get what you're saying. And with the Mandalorian, like, yeah, they got to introduce a storyline, that is now that it's like Grogu-less, unless he comes back like in the first episode or something like that. But yeah, they're gonna have to introduce like a new narrative thread now that like things have been buttoned up, if you will. That they're gonna have, where's it gonna go next?
Well, they have a lot of things that they can lead off on too, like maybe because he showed his face, maybe he's on a new leaf, a new path of some sorts.
Yeah.
You know, not
Kind
the
of
path of the
abandoning
Mandalorian.
some of the code.
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of conflict of sorts with Bo-Katan and the throne of Mandalore and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting. If you guys haven't watched Rebels, you know, there's all kinds of different houses and clans in the Mandalorian world. So it's almost like its own little Game of Thrones that they've set up in previous shows. But there could be all kinds of, you know, history and stuff that they'll go into with the new show. You know. Because the Mandalorian's great, but it's also like it's a very simple show. There's not much depth to it quite yet.
Meet a new character, help the character, move on. Meet a new character, help character, move on. Like
go on a quest.
You could have condensed. Yeah, you could have condensed all like what is there 16 episodes total between the two seasons. You could have done it in like probably 10 episodes total.
Yeah,
and like bypassed a lot of filler shit.
They're telling it's a different kind of it's a new type of storytelling where it's like you're literally like on this guy's journey like almost like moment to moment. Like that's why like the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2.
But yet I still haven't seen him take a shit.
I know, right? Well, dude, how does anybody
he shits in his suit,
and drink all the time? Everybody's wearing the same clothes all the time too. It's like doesn't that shit get dirty? Where's the laundry? Like
every time you eat, just having to like look around, make sure your monitors are off. Take the helmet off, take a little sip.
Yeah, it's all like when you really pick apart shows, it's just like, you know, you can do that with every show because like every character wears the same clothes all the time in superhero shows. It's like, doesn't your costume get dirty? You know, it's kind of.
Which in Wandavision, they're always dressed in something different.
There you go.
Yeah, dude, I love the set design, and it's like everything just looks great. It looks like they're having so much fun, like making these old school looks, and that everybody's acting like they're in these old shows. And I bet it's a lot of fun.
Well, there's Easter eggs in the set design too. There's tons of Easter eggs in the set itself, like the paintings are representative of like events that happened in Wanda's life in the past. You know, so yeah, which is just more evidence that like a lot of the stuff is just coming from her mind, like what being projected onto these physical objects and people and stuff, and and like what was the deal? And going back to Agnes and Herb, like they're something like what it's hard to say how many factions are at play. Like there's obviously Wanda and Vision. They're kind of like almost two separate, things going on, like two sides, if you will. Like Wanda, like not the Vision's against Wanda, but he's clearly like trying to figure something out.
But she wouldn't let him. That's what's interesting about it. She stopped him intentionally
because she doesn't want to leave. She wants this happy life. You know, she's had a whole bunch of shit happen to her, and she just wants to have this happy life in this world.
And if you don't play along, out you go.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, like she turned sinister so fast with like, who are you?
Yeah, she did. That was a unsettling.
She had.
I'd be terrified,
and it's just like, it was
especially
terrifying.
knowing who she is.
At the end, she's like, "Oh, she had to leave. She had to go home, dear." You know, and that eerie horror music.
Because she knew exactly what happened, and she wanted to shut it out.
Yeah. So it's
she's
just
like, you shouldn't know what you knew. Bye.
Yeah, and so she's
the
like,
other people there are trying to play as though they don't know anything. And if they show any hint that they do know something about her, she'll throw them out. That's what it seems to be.
Yeah, either some degree of that, or that they're like under some sort of spell where they're like, when they're in closer proximity to her, that they get under this spell more. But when they're outside of her, maybe they have some sort of control. Because that video we were watching earlier, it's like Kitty from that '70s show. She was kind of like trying to say, "Stop it."
Stop it.
But she was still in this mode of like this 60s era character, but she's like almost breaking through by saying stop it, but in this weird laugh kind of way. Yeah, it's like she couldn't show that she was terrified.
She didn't break character, that's for sure.
Well, then that woman for the that's like kind of that mean lady in that of the neighborhood. I can't remember her character's name, but
Maddie.
Where Wanda says, I meant no harm or something like that. I mean no harm. And she says, I don't believe you.
Well, yeah, and then when the radio starts breaking through, she kind of breaks character too. She kind of breaks the spell or whatever is under her. She kind of comes out of it as well, and is kind of like, doesn't she say something like "Who are you?" or something like that to her?
Mm-hmm.
And then
like,
the glass
who are
breaks.
You?
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, it's interesting. Very, very cool.
Yeah, man, and it's just the beginning too. I mean, how many episodes are they planning on releasing?
I think it's like
I think
9.
right now there's like 9 or 10.
Wow, so
Something
we're only
like that,
in episode 3, so a lot of crazy shit can happen still. I mean, this is just the beginning.
And it's happening faster too. This episode 3, a lot of shit happened quickly.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's a reason why it has that big of a budget. So, let's see what happens, man. You know, because
there's only a few shots left that we saw in the trailer that haven't happened yet. There's like the helicopter flying what seems like close to the zone, the bubble thing. And maybe that's a flashback, and that helicopter turns into the toy helicopter or something like that.
Oh, like lands in it or something.
Falls down and maybe that's Monica's character. Maybe that's Monica's character flying in, because her mom was a pilot in Captain Marvel, so maybe she's a pilot
she was on
going
that.
in. Yeah, and maybe there's a couple other people on there too. And then through Wanda's reality distorting powers, that she gets thrown from the helicopter or something, and that thing gets manifested as a toy, and that all happens when they're in bed. You know, she's like, "Oh, I heard
That's
a
a good one." Man, I hope the Hulk accidentally jumps in.
That'd be hilarious. But they also have a part where they're wearing their old school costumes as well from the comics.
Maybe when they drop into the world, like she gets like those clothes just kind of like manifest on her because everybody else is playing in this reality, so it just sort of like appears on her or something. I'm just kind of I'm just shooting the shit. I don't know.
I like that theory though. The helicopter kind of crashes into it on accident.
Something goes wrong and they crash into the bubble or something. Maybe they weren't ever supposed to be in there,
because that helicopter did have a sword on it, had the sword symbol.
Maybe
that makes sense that at some point it was a real helicopter.
Perhaps, yeah. And then she obviously has that same logo. As a necklace. So, and her mom was a pilot, so maybe she's a part of that. And maybe we'll see that in this next episode. She'll be getting debriefed, and they'll be like, what went wrong? And then it cuts into the flashback.
Then it's that flashback. Yep. I like that.
Well, we'll find out.
Happens that
clearly,
way,
Westview.
We wrote it.
Yeah, and clearly Westview is a real town, so we know that Westview is real in some way, and perhaps those people that were in there got caught up in this thing that Wanda is projecting.
Right.
Well, we'll find out, man.
Yeah. Did we ever get to what we think, like when Herb said we're all, and then Agnes stops her.
Yeah.
Like, what did he think?
Yeah.
Like, that we're all dead, we're all trapped, we're all
trapped.
I think he was going to say we're all under her spell.
Yeah, we're all kind of prisoners here or something like that. Or
we're all under her spell.
We're all trying to get her to party, and she doesn't want to party.
We're all sick of this shit, so stop.
We're like, relax.
We're all paid actors on this set.
It's hilarious.
We're all underpaid.
Yeah, we're thinking about going on strike too. Fuck.
My favorite part of the episode is again Dottie's husband, where Dottie comes in. He's like, "Honey, do these earrings make me look fat?" And then the power breaks, and then he's like, "I just went, oh, thank God."
Yeah, dude. I laughed out loud.
The funniest line so far.
Yeah.
That line, and then that was my grandmother's piano.
Yeah, he's the true hero of the show so far.
Yeah, he's the comic relief for sure.
He's probably one of the regular citizens that was in the real neighborhood when Wanda started her shit. Now he's trapped in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's hilarious.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting to see how they pull through this.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, we could speculate for hours and hours and hours. I'm sure.
I'm game. Let's keep going.
Break down a 20-minute episode into a 3-hour long show.
It's a 6-hour our discussion about it. I mean, it did involve like talking about Godzilla's giant dick and other things, but
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Batman fighting a bunch of predator priests.
technically he's beating the shit out of children
Yeah.
because the
Who's the
priests are
real
sticking the children on him.
Yeah, who's the real
Who's the
villain
real
here?
predator now?
God damn it.
At least I never punched the kids. God.
It's fucking ridiculous. Well, I'm thinking I'm gonna end this call and go stretch my legs a little bit. I've fucking been.
All right.
I've been sitting since like noon.
Yeah, eat
See
some
you
food.
guys back here in 30 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Right on.
Well, yeah, we'll figure out the next episode. We'll see what happens in the next episode.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Hell yeah. Well, this is fun, boys.
Yeah.
Faux
Thanks,
show.
guys.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll talk to y'all later. I'm gonna go be vertical now, or horizontal.
All right, guys.
All right.
All right,
See you
buddy.
guys.
See ya
See you guys.
later.
Later.
You are listening to High on Sci-Fi with your host, Kyle Borrego.